Well, thanks for joining us here at the 2022 Junior Regionals, the 50th edition of the tournament. And if you're just joining us, we have indeed arrived at semi-final stages of the competition. And we've just seen the West Southwest Suns book their place in the grand final, taking on the Sydney Scorpions and the 18s girls. And this one should be an absolute cracking fixture. It is the 18 boys semi. And to start with, it will be the West Southwest Suns in that aqua strip. They are taking on the Sydney Scorpions. Both sides have been in red-hot form throughout this tournament. The cutout pass comes. It is touched, so another set of 6 to come here as well. As it comes away through Hunter Schultz. Now dropped away to Joseph Cole. Cole off the left foot, driving forward. Hopping back mid-air before the pass comes across. And a good touch in cover from Sam Davies, the Manly junior. Semple threatening to go. The right foot. There was a bit of rain yesterday, so still potentially a bit slippery underfoot. The grass itself, though, is nice and dry. So ball control should be pretty good here for both sides. Still live on this play is Semple. And now this will be the last. Semple offers short. And unfortunately, that wasn't particularly simple on that occasion. So the Sydney Scorpions survive.
Yeah, they survived there. Very good defence there by the Scorpions. Here you'll see with the ball, this is their captain in Josh Turner. He'll really lead the way in defence and attack in this game.
Good start to their set as well, and they can get replacements onto the field nice and quick. So look at that transition. It allows that attack to continue, and running at full pelt as well as Blake Long. And then once more following up through the centre. So this is a side that really does run hard. I know it's only touch, but sometimes you can be a little bit confused as to how they approach the match, that's for sure.
Yeah, that was just pure speed. They're just using their legs at the moment. Oh, little bump ball there. They would have been over, I reckon, the Scorps, but the lead runner didn't give the ball. But here we go. Suns coming off their line.
Well, these sides are so evenly matched that the first try could be absolutely critical in determining who goes through to the final. And unfortunately there, the West Southwest Suns have made an error.
7 on the field, the call is. So we've seen that a bit today. A few teams getting 7 on the field.
It's so important to time those transitions well from the box. Can be extremely damaging. You're giving away possession realistically quite cheaply. It's not even a mistake with the ball, just an administrative error, really.
Yeah, that's what it is. Everyone gets a little bit eager getting on the field and they don't count their numbers off. That fourth man getting on, he really needs to control that because they're the one that they ping all the time.
Oh, Masters, oh, what a fantastic effort for the corner. But I think the ball's been ruled forward, has it?
Forward or out? I think the hand up meant ball went out.
Jeez, I'll tell you what, it was touch and go for a moment. I thought he might have kept his feet inside the touchline and then an acrobatic finish. And I'm assuming as well those corner posts don't actually mean much.
No, they don't. No, it's all off the line, all off the try line. A bit like the rugby league. You can knock the corner post over, but it's all off the line.
Well, here are the West Southwest Suns driving deep and hard at the line. Numbers coming in support, but it was well covered in the end as well there. I think that was Long out wide. In fact, no, it's Carter Proven. Got a few tries yesterday as well. So he's had a good tournament so far. One flicked up, well controlled in the end because it wasn't a particularly brilliant pass. This is Proven now. He gets the touch and up over halfway. Boscheider shifting it on now to Charlia, who turns it back on the inside. Last play now. Boscheider again. It's still alive here. The long pass comes, set up beautifully, and Cooper Wood, the Manly junior, gets the first try of the match. The Sydney Scorpions lead 1-0.
There's the play that I called early. Just need to give it to the rapper there, James, and over they go. So they're just using their speed off touch 3 and 4, and they're just using the absolute speed that everyone's got rolling back in the defence, and they just play the numbers overlap.
It's a very quick side, and it's a side that does play at pace as well. That's a very important factor in this. It's not just relying on someone to scoot away with the ball. They're all hitting it at speed the moment they come onto it. As the West Southwest Suns look to hit back here, it is Hayes who plays it. Back to Hayes now, stepping off the left foot. Final play here for the West Southwest Suns, and coming across in cover was a good touch from Riley Canning, one of those Hills District boys. Of course, this side is predominantly made up of Manly and Northern Beaches players, but there are a few Hills juniors scattered amongst them. Here are the Scorpions now, working it up towards halfway. The dummy and show, and now Proven can get the quick touch. A little bit of confusion at the play. The ball meant that things stopped for just a moment as Adanyana goes forward. Once more, Long driving hard. Here is Adanyana now. The wraparound play. Off the right foot. Ooh, nearly evaded the touch of Joseph Cole. But they've done well in the end there, the Suns, because there was plenty thrown at them.
Yeah, plenty thrown at them. And I think the Scorpions are really conditioning the defence here. That's the same play 3 or 4 times. That play was just a little bit slower and the defence got back on side. But when they play that play at place, the Suns are really struggling to retreat.
Well, the Scorpions, they've already opened the scoring here and they're in a good position to add to their lead at this point. Plenty of players up their sleeves as Masters receives it and dives over untouched. Simple stuff in the end. It was the Masters boys combining. Aiden offered it off to Max and it's now 2-0.
Yeah, just a simple little quickie play. Nice fast feet there by Masters and just a nice dive over.
Such an underrated skill as well. I mean, obviously, for those who are touch football fanatics, we all know about it, but if you're new to watching touch and enjoying the game, it's the ability to get to ground so quickly is absolutely crucial.
Yeah, and sometimes the people, the size of the guys or girls that can do it, the athleticism, that's what they really show there, James, is how quick they can get the ball to ground.
Tell you what, the only time I have gotten to the ground that quickly is when I've had a fair few beers and I've spilt a little bit on the dance floor and then I'm trying to recover before I make a scene.
One of the best I've ever seen to do that is Nathan Jones, and he's quite a big man, and how low and fast he can get down to the ground, that's really extraordinary.
Scorpions working it towards their box here, looking for a quick transition. Bit of confusion there at the play the ball, but they've recovered nicely. Up over halfway now as Turner, the captain, drives up through the centre of the field. Last play now. Retreating Suns defensive line. This is dangerous for them, but just getting back on side. And in a crucial diving touch there as well. That was full stretch.
Yeah, we might see a little change up here on the end of their sets very shortly. I reckon they'll be looking, they've conditioned the defence to run that switch back for a 4-on-3 play, but I reckon they might start changing the back end of their sets very shortly.
Here are the West-Southwest Suns on the attack and driving through a gap. With the touch coming there from Turner, he just retreated enough to make it, otherwise that would have been another set of 6. Danger signs just for a moment there for the Scorpions, but a chance to work it away from their own end now. They'll come straight towards that box there to get fresh players on the field. Adanyana is one of them, and he'll get it now. Dummy, quickly caught. Here is Long, who always goes at full pelt, getting around the first attempted touch from Pack. Still alive here with Long. Ooh, nearly evaded, but the Suns have...
He plays at 100 miles an hour Long, doesn't he? There's only one speed, and that's flat out.
Look, we've got a bunch of adjectives and whatnot and everything. I mean, I know it's long, but potentially it should be quick. Because the man does nothing that isn't at 100%. Of course, as a coach, it's a joy for them as the Suns spread it from left to right. Big right foot step as well. Oh, the flick pass comes out, Benji Marshall style, but unfortunately Hunter Schultz couldn't confuse the defence of the Scorpions. Here is Long once more, trying to get away from that defender. Adanyana, quick to ground, that's a nice little dump. The touch comes up there from Schultz. And up over the halfway line now. Still a couple of plays here as Ladalevu shows it once, shows it again. Got them backpedaling. Danger here, the Scorpions looming. Popped over the top, Ladalevu! Oh, that's wonderful stuff from the right Eastwood Junior. And that's a great team try from the Sydney Scorpions.
And there's that little change up that I was talking about, James. Instead of the switchback, they faded wide, went for the 4-on-3 for Engels Cooper Cork, and a nice little switchback play and scored on the short side.
The Scorpions now in a commanding position. 3 tries to nil. The Suns need to be next to score. They've had a fair bit of game time as well in this one. Of course, 25-minute matches, and when there is a try score, these two sides, they will change direction that they're running in. We've had 9 minutes roughly on the clock, so around about another 15 or 16 minutes to play. At a third of the way through this one. Here are the Suns once more, but not offering a great deal in that last play. That's quite a meek ending to the set.
Yeah, that was a pretty poor set, especially off a tap-off. You got to be nearly trying to have a good crack at the line on touch 3 and 5, but it was just a bit of a waste of a tap set.
Great piece of evasiveness there as well from Canning. He really didn't have much room to work with, but he picked up a further 10 metres.
And they get the penalty. Well done there to Canning.
So big high fives all round as he comes to the sideline. The boys are very happy with that effort there from Riley. Another set of 6 to come now as Turner, the captain, pushes forward. Masters. Back to Turner here. It's the Masters and Turner show at the moment. Turner offering it away to Aiden Masters. Thought there might have been a touch before he got the ball there, which could have been interesting. Turner waits and holds. Finds Davies. Back to Turner now off the right foot. He's got them dancing the defence. Desperately trying to get the touch. Back to Davies, and now Turner once more can have a crack. Over the top, but the touch came just in time. A very important one from Riley Burke, the Central Coast local.
Picked up at the ruck, a forward pass at the ruck there, I believe, by the referee.
It's an interesting one because, I mean, we've seen so many let go that have been, I would dare say, significantly worse than that one.
Yeah, it's surprising with the different age groups. You watch it and you go, oh, that's forward. But then come the older boys and girls, they start picking all the forwards up and it's like, well, that's been happening all day. What's going on?
I think we can focus on that as being offering a little bit, just a little bit more. We'll give them an inch.
Possibly. Give the younger ones a bit more of a go.
It's starting to sound like a bloody Scott Morrison election campaign. Here we go with the Scorpions now shifting upfield as Davies gets it close towards halfway. Coming out for pressuring is Hayden Hinch. The number 2 hasn't seen a great deal of footy so far in this match. We'll see what he can do. He certainly can move. Masters shifts it on. Still alive here for Boschscheider. Boschscheider tried to get through, but it was a good touch.
Oh, no, they can't say play through.
Jeez, I don't know about that.
Oh, that's very, very close. We'll watch on the little replay I've got going here, but that was a really nice passive setup there by the Sydney Scorpions, and we're just watching the replay here to see if the touch was made.
Oh, gee, I'm still not sure.
I reckon the wingers made that off the line. I reckon that's a lucky break there to the Sydney Scorpions.
Well, it means their 4th try of the match, but I'm in big agreement there with you, David. I think it was definitely a touch there, but it'll just mean the Suns will have to work even harder now. Around about halfway through this match. Ball in hand. They've got to put on some sort of potential try-scoring play here. As you mentioned, it's quite important when you're getting that start of the set from halfway to ask a few questions of the defensive line, but it's not going to happen on this occasion. The Scorpions will survive once more.
You can see the Scorpions have been under the pump just here, so they've just taken a breather before they've started their rucket set, which is really calm and patient by the Sydney Scorpions.
Turner fires it out now towards the sideline as Long comes for a bit of a breather as well. Masters, that's a nice little dump. Ladalevu now, who's so tricky with his hands. Look at that little dummy and catch to himself. Ladalevu's another option here. Oh, geez, I thought had he released that early, there was a clear passage for Ladalevu.
Yeah, he's little tricky fella, isn't he? I don't mind the look of him at the moment. He's doing the hard work for all these ball players, which is really good to see.
And the big question comes to you, and again, I put this to you almost every match we call. Do you have tabs on Ladalevu after seeing some of the skills he's displayed in the first sort of 12 or 13 minutes of this match?
To be honest, I haven't actually seen him play a real lot. This is probably the second time this weekend I've got to watch him, but I'll be meeting with the selectors after this game just to see whether they've got him down before the grand final or, possibly a person to watch.
Now, for those who aren't familiar, of course, we're talking largely about New South Wales selection, State of Origin coming up in August. And, I mean, you mentioned the selectors there. How much of a bearing do they have on the team list, and how much of a say do you get?
Yeah, so with our squads, normally we take roughly around the 28 to 30, and it's really a collective work with the selectors. They get to watch a lot more games than what I do. Now, that one looked a bit forward. But, they get to watch a lot more games and get a lot more eyes on people than what I do. So normally we've got a tour leader, a couple of selectors, and then myself. And then we just keep having discussions after tournaments. We've got a living document that we work over for 2 years, so the players don't actually get watched for one tournament. It's a consecutive 2-year tournaments that we pick our squads from. Obviously with COVID we haven't had that, but yeah, normally it's a 2-year process.
No, I think it's a good point. Of course, they say class is permanent, form is temporary, so it's a way to get around that. And unfortunately, the Suns couldn't get around the defence of the Scorpions there. But look, it will be very interesting, of course. It is David Stone with us for special comments, the coach of the men's 20s for New South Wales. So certainly casting an eye over this game as another penalty comes the way of the Sydney Scorpions, a further set of 6. Wind just picking back up again once more. I can tell you now, though, I'm certainly not going to blame that last forward pass on the window. That was just straight out of the hands, directly ahead.
That was a Tom Brady pass if we've ever seen one today.
Well, of course, he's back out of retirement.
Yeah.
Just wonder how long he'll go on for. He's, 42 now?
Yeah, they'll start calling him John Farnham soon.
The final comeback tour, and I'll tell you what, there might not be a final comeback here for the Southwest Suns. Another try coming through here. Well, they are tearing them up through the middle. They haven't even had to go too wide in this match. It's all been done up through that central passage. They've just managed to turn the defence around time and again.
Yeah, that was a beautiful little sweeper play and dropped the link in underneath. It was really well constructed by the Scorpions.
Here is Cole playing the ball, but falling to ground in the process as well. So they need a bit of a miracle at this point. The Southwest Suns down by 5. Not a great deal of time remaining. So it's looking like the Sydney Scorpions will have both the boys and the girls in the grand final at this point.
Yeah,
the 18s division.
I have to say, it's not a lack of trying by the Suns. I just think the Scorps, they're just polished. Everything they do is just really polished and at 100%, 100 miles an hour. Where the Suns, country affiliate, they don't get this quality high-level touch all the time. But by the end of the tournament, they're slowly starting to get it. So they've done well to compete here. And hopefully they can get a couple of tries on the board late.
Yeah, well, of course, one of the key tournaments that would be helping a lot of these Sydney players is the Vorden Cup. Now, how's that looking for this year? Is that back on the cards?
Yeah, it is back on the cards. It's looking to start up after Origin, though. But, yeah, we're in the process of planning it in the office. The events team's working on all them contingencies and how it will work. But, yeah, all tournaments are looking to be back on the board again. We've obviously got Vorden Cup, Country Champs back here again towards the end of the year, and then leading into the big one, State Cup, which, fingers crossed, we get done this year.
Oh, I'll tell you what, I lived up in Port Macquarie a couple of years ago and managed to get on the field that year, but there was a fair bit of flooding in February as well. And then, of course, we had one at the end of last year which was called off, and then another one which was completely underwater up to my ankles at one point. I'm surprised people didn't break out the surfboards, actually. It was just nuts.
Yeah, no, we've had plenty of rain up there.
Well, surely that one would have floated forward, and yes, the referees are on the spot for that one as well. So a penalty coming here. Now, the other question I got to ask you, David, is obviously with the Vorden Cup coming back, there was a big rumour circulating last year. Benji Marshall would be back in the tournament. Any word for this season?
I've not heard anything. Possibly Tony Trad, if he's listening out there. He's good friends with Benji Marshall. But it would be great to see. It would be great for the sport to get a big name like that come back. Obviously, touch is a pathway for rugby league players. You see some of the best rugby league players playing touch when they're juniors. And possibly you could even see some of these kids go on to play rugby league. But wouldn't it be great to see him back? It'd be a good marketing value for us, I reckon.
Absolutely, and playing alongside Jordan Marshall-King, that would be fantastic to see. Of course, he featured in the All-Stars match a little earlier this year. Scored a nice little length of the field runaway try.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they play together, because one plays for Parramatta, where Benji used to play for West. So that would be interesting to see whether they combined or...
Oh, that's brilliant stuff. The little touch off from... I'm not sure, it might have been Long there. No, in fact, it's Masters, and Adanyana is the recipient of it. That was absolutely superb. Watch that on the replay, because that is one of the better plays of the entire tournament so far. So Adanyana wraps around, little jump, hop off. Oh, yeah, Masters just with a little tip on.
And what about the slam down? He slammed it down like a big slam dunk in the NBA.
Yeah, we had one of the other players wearing those long sleeves. You were calling LeBron James earlier today, and I'll tell you what, there's a bit of Kobe Bryant about that there from Adanyana. Well, that is sensational stuff. 6 tries to nil, and there is still time in this one, so it's actually looking like we could see a rather big score. However, finally onto the board come the Southwest Suns. Little Hayden Hinch diving in the corner.
Well constructed early release rooster there. Just got the Scorps a little bit tight. Released the wrapper early, and then they just had him for numbers. Well played by the Suns.
Yeah, good to see them hit back and get on the board here. They've, as you mentioned, it certainly hasn't been for a lack of trying. They have asked plenty of questions, but the Scorpions have just had answers all over the place.
Yeah, they've been just too clinical this this game, and you can see some of the class of some of the players coming out now as well. This is the crunch time of the tournament, and the big guns tend to stand up.
Proven plays it, and now receives it once more. He'll take a settler before Masters tries to launch something. Proven. Oh, how about the evasiveness skills there? He just made them sit on their heels for the slightest second, and that's all it takes. Carter Proven, who dishes out a bit of a dance as well, and it looked like he was dancing to get to ground there.
Yeah, he got down really low, and the defender just fell for the dummy that little bit, just gave him that little bit of time to get underneath him, and yeah, very well done. He's a tall boy too.
Tell you what, it's all smiles on the sideline as well. The coaching staff is getting the big grins out. The boys know they've done enough. 5 minutes on the clock. They're up by 6. They're really just in cruise control at the moment. The West-South-West Suns are trying valiantly, but it's hard to crack such a stern defensive line as it comes away here to Jackson Hill. The Orange Junior plays it 7 out. Good ball back towards the middle, but once more you can see Masters getting up so quickly and just shutting any potential attack down. And there they are again.
Down, yep.
However, that time Masters overrunning the place. I've just given him a wrap and he's come up with that, unfortunately. And diving straight through a gap is Riley Jones.
Yeah, nice little dive underneath again. So the Suns are getting a couple of late consolation tries, but I'd like to see him really defend this set hard, not let Scorps score a try and get a couple back late.
Milata Ledevu to touch back off here. Very fleet of foot. Actually reminds me a little bit of Dita, to be honest.
He does a little bit.
Back to Ledevu here. Shifting away to Charlia. Holds it up and now fires it off himself. Oh, that's brilliant stuff. Charlia back on the inside. Great ball pop from Angle's cork, and it was like popping the cork of a champagne bottle. And it is champagne touch footy for that matter.
Oh, yeah, just a little step back, and the Suns didn't crunch in on the step back, and just a little pop around behind the play. A lot of them you see get caught for a late pass, but that ball had gone there, so good call by the referee.
It's the margin extended once more, 8-2 now. It's been a while since it's been a close contest here. The Scorpions are really pulling out the party tricks at this point. We've seen some brilliant stuff from Masters and Adanyana just before that try. So they feign to go long. Pressure comes up from Ladalevu. There might have also been a head clash in there, unintentional, but something to watch out for as well. So we come inside the final 3 minutes here at Tuggerah for this 18 boys semi-final. The Scorpions have booked their place. And do we have an update on the other result at the moment?
I will try and get a score from the other field, and if you bear with me, I'll be with you right.
It is the Sydney Scorpions now up over halfway. Still finding some room here through Boscheider, who loses his footing as he goes to play it. Long, shifting it on quickly, first receiver style. A drop coming out there in the end from Riley Canning, who's also gone over today. West-South-West Suns, they're certainly not giving up on this match. They're still putting 100% effort in, which is great to see from the boys.
Yeah, definitely still trying over there, the boys, and it's good to see a country affiliate in the semis contesting against the Sydney counterparts.
Stepping off the right foot is Hayes. Now drifting once more. He's got a great little right foot step, in fact, Hayes. Back out to this right-hand side through Joseph Cole. The ball going to ground, though. They feigned to touch it. Scorpions were happy to just watch it bounce off the hands of their opposition, though. Ooh, a little bobble at the play the ball. It's Boscheider. Takes the hit up. Comes towards the sideline as well. Adanyana. Back up through the middle. Fired off here to Proven. Masters with the long cutout pass. Well covered, though, in the end from Hinch. Nowhere to go for Newbold. Back into Adanyana. Still alive. Oh, beautiful draw and pass. And finally they crack them. Zach Newbold dives in. And wonderfully set up as well. Yeah, well, that is clinical once more from the Scorpions.
That is clinical from the Scorps. And we've got a score coming in from over at the other semi. We've got, at the moment, we've got the Hunter Hornets 5-4, I believe, over the Sydney Mets, which could be an upset because personally I had the Mets as favourites going into this tournament. And they've got a runaway over there by the Mets by the look of it.
And it does look like they'll go
No, it's the Hornets. The Hornets could be up by 2 now. But back to our game here.
And it's a little difficult to see, but we are seeing a nice big clap there from, I think that's Botham out there, and we know he's had a big tournament himself, so that could be very interesting stuff from the Hornets. We could potentially still get one of our regional sides featuring in that grand final, which is great to see.
Wouldn't it be to see the country boys take it out over the cities? Just because I'm a country boy, James, why not?
Yes, from lovely Port Macquarie. And there is the siren happening, so we know the Scorpions here are going through. And from the looks of it, I believe the Hunter Hornets are also through. There's plenty of backslapping. We'll confirm that shortly for you. And of course, we've got roughly about a 45-minute wait, I believe, before the grand finals come, but should be a very enticing fixture. We know the Scorpions are through, not to mention for the girls, we've got also the Sydney Scorpions who have managed to win their way through. And remind me as well, we've got the Suns.
Yeah, we've got the Suns versus the Scorpions in the 18s girls. And we're just waiting to hear who won the other boys game, but we've definitely got the Scorps through, and we'll try and get an update for you very, very shortly.
Yep, well, that'll do us for now, and we will be back with you just a short moment, so make sure to keep it locked here on New South Wales Touch Football and Bar TV, wherever you happen to be watching from. The grand finals will be next, and of course, after that, we will have the official presentation. But for the 18 boys, 100% confirmed the Sydney Scorpions will be playing for the silverware.